Hi there! I come to you barefaced to show you how I've been doing my everyday makeup recently. I have all of my makeup stored in my wardrobe, but I keep the stuff that I use every day in this Ted Baker wash bag. I have face-based stuff here and anything colour related there. This has actually been repurposed about 1 million times. It's such a handy size. At the moment it holds my brushes, except for my big fluffy face brush. I put on my primer. It's the Benefit Porefessional and I just absolutely love how this feels on the skin. It makes me feel so silky smooth. I just used a little pea-sized amount, divided between my 2 fingers, and I often put it in my under eye area and a little bit on my forehead. That's the part where my concealer could run, or just in general my powder, because I have a fairly oily forehead. And then I put on my foundation. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte in... what's it called? Natural Rose, number 12. And I'm using the Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. A weird glob on the back of your hand. And I just kind of buff it in circles. There we go, that's foundation on. The next step would just be my concealer. Now I usually use the collections in number 2, Warm Beige I think it's called, but at the minute I'm giving the Rimmel Wake Me Up a go. I just do dots under my eyes. I've got this mark here that is always there, bit of my chin, and then I'll just do a little bit on the side of my nose because I tend to get quite a lot of redness there. Then I take the Expert Face Brush again and just pat it on. That is actually a really good colour match. Whenever I've just done my under eye, I take whatever's left on the brush and pat it on top of my eye, because that's how I like to prime my eyelids instead of using dedicated eye primer. That's actually really good. I'm very happy with that. It's got like a little bit of luminosity coming through as well, which I like for under the eye to really brighten you up. So then I use the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow with a Real Techniques contour brush to do a little bit of soft contour. I just do this and kind of first do a line, and then if I've put on a bit much, which I haven't this time but sometimes I have, I just kind of like bring it down like that. There we go, and you can kind of see like the darker patch. And the same on the other side. Then another swirl to go across the jawline. There's another across like the top of the forehead. I really like this because it's very light if you don't build it up, whereas a lot of contouring is very intense and then you have to spend like ages blending. This is like a quick, cheap way of doing contour quite quickly, but still making it look like, you know, you've got a bit of shape to your face. So then I clean the brush by like doing this very professional thing, and I grab a bit of highlight and I put it on the tops of my cheekbones. As a blush, I'm pretty much in love with the Bobbi Brown Apricot. I think it's such an awesome colour that would look well on a lot of people. It looks so bright on the palette, like scary, like I would never touch this, but the lady at the counter recommended this one for my skin and I'm actually really happy with it. You can see that it has some more like actual apricot bits around the more blush colour, and I think that's what makes it quite good. So I just take it on the same contour brush and just pop it in between. And there we go. That's kind of how it looks. I really like that. I think it looks really natural and just naturally flushed and lovely. It's definitely not true to what the palette looks like. And there we go. That's me. Pretty. I think this looks a lot more natural than more bronze for me, because I feel like when you go outside in winter, you do tend to look a bit more like rosy and like kind of like white and red with the cold. So I'm trying to kind of emulate that but in a more perfected way. So that will be me done in terms of base. As you can see, I try to keep it matte but still have some glow coming through from within and nice rosy cheeks, a little bit of definition. So my next step here would just be to set it, and I'm using the Rimmel London Stay Matte in 001 Transparent and the powder brush from Real Techniques. So just give it a big swirl, let it go dusty, and then apply it to mostly my forehead because that's the bit that just does not want to stay. Then I also pat it on kind of under my eyes and on my nose. I ideally should have a smaller powder brush to do this. Next is my eyebrows and my eyes, which is my favourite part. For my eyebrows at the moment, I'm using the Soap & Glory Archery pencil in Hot Chocolate. I comb through my eyebrows with the spoolie. I definitely need to do my eyebrows. I haven't plucked them in about a couple of weeks and I haven't actually gone and had them waxed since my wedding in August. So that's really very naughty of me. So I just take the pencil and I usually have like a blunter end and a sharper end because of the way that I apply it. So first I go in with the blunter end. This just gives them a bit more volume and it kind of gets rid of the little spaces that you've got in your eyebrows. And you can already see that this looks, especially at the front, better than that eyebrow. Then I take the little sharper end and I just do a few flicks at the front and I'll just do the same thing to the other eyebrow. And that's just how I would leave them. They're not perfect, but I find that if you kind of rock the whole messy eyebrow, messy hair look, you can make it look like you meant to do that as opposed to just that it just does that. Next for eyeshadow, I'm gonna stick to my trusty Naked palette. I use it all the time. I'm surprised that I haven't like made more of a mess of the palette itself. And for my everyday makeup, what I would do is I would just combine the two matte shades, Naked and Buck, and I would do Naked all over the lid. Which actually kind of is just a little bit darker than my natural colour, so it just makes it look like a more polished version of what it was. And then I'll take a little bit of Buck. This is both these things I'm doing on a Real Techniques Space Shadow brush. And I'll just put the Buck like at the top, kind of like along my crease, but mostly just at the bottom of the crease. At the bottom of the brow bone, if that makes sense. And then I'll take a Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush and I'll just blend that so that it doesn't look too patchy. You can kind of see when I do this that there's like a lighter part and then like a darker part going on the outside. It just defines the eye, gives it a bit of depth. Then I like to do my eyeliner and flick, and for that I use the Charlotte Tilbury Feline Flick in Panther, and that is one flick. I don't do them too sharp. I like it looking a bit blunter because I feel like that looks a bit more natural, especially when you put mascara on. It just elongates the eye as opposed to looks like an actual physical flick. And I'll just do the same on the other eye. I'm by no means an expert, but my two top tips for getting a really good top of the eye eyeliner are to make sure that you bring the line in till the very inner corner at the top, because that elongates your eye and it makes it look really nice. And to make sure that when you're done with the main bit, you look into a mirror like that. It's a beautiful angle. And you fill in any bits that you can see between the lash line and, in fact, I missed a bit, between the lash line and the bottom of the lid. So lastly, I would just put on my mascara. At the moment, I'm bouncing between the Benefit Roller Lash or the blah, 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 Max Factor Masterpiece Max. They should have called it Maxterpiece, that would have been way funnier. So today I'm going to use the Max Factor Maxterpiece. Satisfying plop. I like a really natural finish on my eyelashes because I wear glasses and I can't have them be all like super exciting and spindly on a day-to-day basis. Lastly, I don't often do very much with my lips because I find that I have a really small mouth and I don't like drawing attention to it. But I do like a bit of a nude lip. My go-to nude that I kind of carry around in all of my handbags type of thing is the Rimmel Kate Moss in 08. The way that I would say it works with this lipstick is If before this lipstick, my lips looked ill, now they look healthy. Does that make sense? It's the same color, but it's a more vibrant and perfected version. So there we go, this is my everyday makeup. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and let me know if you use any of these products or if you have any good recommendations that are similar. Let me know what other makeup looks you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys some other time.